is KC Sports Network, proudly presented by Emprise Bank.
What is happening, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Currently on No Other Pod. We're on the KC Sports Network, and it's a beautiful day, man. It's a beautiful week. Summer is upon us. I'm Daniel Kooser, here with Chris Wright. Chris, what's up, man? How was your weekend?
I was good. Extended,
Yeah, that's right.
Extended for, my particular job or close on holidays. So,
Yes.
3-day weekend was pretty nice. Played a couple video games. There's a new game, Dan, I was going to tell you about. It's called X Defiant. It's free, by the way. It's a first-person shooter. It's multiplayer only. It's free. It's multiplayer only. And there's no skill-based matchmaking, which is what Call of Duty uses, and it makes games multiplayer incredibly difficult. So it tries to match you up with players who are around your skill. Like, it gives you a very tough game every single time. Yeah, Nick here. Skill-based matchmaking is so ass.
Skill-based is not good. You don't want that?
It's not good because you want to play where you have variety. You play some good players, you play some bad players, you just get a variety of an experience. In skill-based matchmaking, you are constantly fighting for your life every single game, and it ruins your experience. So,
Interesting.
this game, it was made by one of the developers of one of the old Call of Duties, and he purposely made a first-person shooter that did not have that. So, a lot of fun. I'll hitch up with the deets. We can play.
Yeah, I can't promise I'd be interested in that. I'm not a huge multiplayer FPS guy, but I've been dabbling in the new Hellblade sequel on Game Pass, and that shit is freaking scary.
Right.
Have you heard of that, Hellblade?
I've heard of it. A lot of people
it's like
even about it.
It's like psychosis, mental health, like where you get whispers in your surround sound speakers. I'm like, I am tense to the max. Things are not, now I'm fighting a demon. Life is not good.
You need the dogs of Marissa around you, is what you're telling me, right? All the lights on.
Yeah. She was down to watch the game because it kind of plays like a movie, so you can watch. And I was like, good. I got someone here with me. I look over 5 minutes later, she's fucking snoozing. It's just sleeping. And I was like, I'm just alone now. This is great.
You're going to get murdered. She's going to sleep through your murder.
Yeah. I'm not better off. It is what it is.
And then, but while we're on the Game Pass, sorry, I'm going to keep this train rolling a little longer. The new Call of Duty, even though I just crapped on it, the previous Call of Duties with multiplayer, the new one is actually going to come out on Game Pass day one. You do not have to pay $70 for the game.
Are you serious?
I am serious.
When was that announced?
I think today it was officially announced.
I am floored.
It comes out later this year, but
Sure.
yeah, it's like Gulf War is the theme. So like a $70 game that we both have bought in previously in the past.
Sure.
A lot of us have. Yeah, Black Ops.
You get it half price though. I go Black Friday.
There you go. But it's going to be on Game Pass, Xbox Game Pass day one.
That's interesting.
Just throwing that out.
And I love the games, but I also I'm one of the few people that play the campaign like a loser. I think it's so fun.
This campaign for Black Ops 6, it looks really, really, really good. I think this is the most time they've spent on one single game in quite some time. Because before they're churning them out like every year, which they are now, but this one they've kind of been working on for a couple years. So
man,
it looks really good, man.
That shit.
You're gonna dig it.
Whenever I finish a level, I'm like, I feel like I've been at war. My pulse is up. Life is crazy right now.
And I think hopefully we can play some co-ops. That'd be kind of fun. I like to do co-op on campaigns. We should.
That is fun.
Right.
We got to finish a co-op game ourselves. We need to get back to it sometime.
Right back at it.
I'm busy. I'm in a show, man. I'm in 2 shows. It's crazy for me. So Tech Week is upon me. But you know what else is upon us? We got a bye week, if soccer players call it that. International break, rather, this weekend. So, man, we got no game to talk about coming up. But boy, oh boy, do we have a game to talk about where we just keep on rolling, getting 3 points on the road at Utah Royals. Tried to let them stay in the game a little bit. We tried to let them play with us. And I'm like, stop playing with your food and feast. All right? Feast on these fools that have one win freaking 4 points in this league. Like, feast. And we didn't really feast. It was a 1-0 victory, but you take what you can get, right? Especially on the road.
Yeah. We had a lot of food on the plate. I mean, we had, I don't know how many shots, like point blank. Chewinga had like 3 or 4. She had that one, I believe it was like the 8th minute where she was 2 feet away from the goal and hit the post. That was kind of frustrating. At the end of the day, we got 3 points, which we're going to talk about. But yeah, man, it's we played better than that scoreline shows. That's for sure.
Yes. There some main storylines. That's weird to say. Storylines. Gabby Robinson, really hoping she's okay. I think she was standing on her own 2 feet later in the game. Like, I mean, when she was hugging players and stuff, she wasn't in the wheelchair that they rolled out for her to take her back to the locker room after what looked like a really nasty non-contact injury. And when non-contact happens, bro, you think Achilles or you think ACL. Do we know anything about the extent of her injury? It's now Tuesday the 28th. Have we heard anything?
No, and I hate to break it to you, but I did see her on some crutches, which could be Jesus Christ, I can't speak. Precautionary. Good Lord. Yeah, but it was bad, man. She was battling. I can't remember who she was battling with, but just at first I thought it was her Achilles. The way like her calf looked, it looked like like an Achilles injury, which is always hard to watch. But looked like they were checking the ACL. So I guess that's the best case in terms of recovery.
Is ACL better than Achilles?
Yeah.
Interesting.
The medical technology with ACLs nowadays is significantly better.
Okay.
ACLs, that can zap your speed for the rest of your career. I'm sorry, Achilles can. ACLs you can recover from. So
interesting. It's
I hope it's a sprain, by the way. I hope it's nothing season ending, but
for sure. She's been
the best. She's been a beast.
Off the charts this year, playing more minutes these past couple seasons than anyone could imagine she'd play. Always kind of nice, though, when you have someone on the bench like Elizabeth Ball, who's used to getting starting minutes, to come in for her in the 26th minute. But some other things of note, Desi Scott got into this game in the 74th. Claire Hutton started and balled out again for 74 minutes, and she's just really impressing me this year. It's wonderful. I can't wait to get her on the pod and talk to her a little bit. Bia Zanerato, back on the bench, dude. I mean, that was great to see because she's been out for a little bit. I'm like, cool, maybe she gets some minutes. She got like 9-10 minutes here at the end of the game. I was kind of worried because I was like, we're up 1-0. Do we need to even put her in the game? I mean, I guess let her run around for a little bit. I kind of wish it wasn't for Dabinia, I guess, because Dabinia is just a game changer in there, man.
Yeah.
And Vanessa DiBernardo came on in the second half because we know that she kind of took a little knock herself last week in that 3-3 game against Louisville. So just probably playing her a half is very precautionary when she's used to playing all the minutes, man. But Michelle Prince got a whole half as well. So I dig it, man. The rotation, rotating of lineup that Vlatko's doing, I don't hate it. It doesn't feel stupid. It feels very calculated, and I got to applaud that when we're used to watching soccer, which doesn't really necessarily rotate all that much.
Especially when you have a lot of players on the bench who can contribute. I mean, these are not players who you're just, you put in and you're just like praying they hold it together. Like, these are players who make an impact. It's a good problem to have, and it's a difficult problem too. I mean, you got to keep all these players happy, keep that rotation going, and I think he's done a masterful job. And just limiting it's a long season, man. And then we have a lot of summer games. Like, it's, these veteran players, I'm glad we can give them some rest. Well-deserved rest.
And I would love to get in the mind of Vlatko, man, of how he makes some of these substitutions, because he left Lavager on the bench. Normally we would see Lavager come in towards the end of the game to help close it out or something. We've seen Pfeiffer come in too. We've seen Ellie Wheeler come in, but Ellie Wheeler wasn't needed because the outside backs, Izzy and Haley Mace, played all 90 minutes. So it's cool. It's cool to have that firepower and see the rotation being used. But this game ended 1-0, man, and it was it's a record-breaking game is what it was, because we were tied on 14 different goal scorers in a season, and that's the NWSL season record. Well, we just passed it, and we're at 15, and everyone knew who it was going to be, right? We knew it would be Elizabeth Ball.
The betting lines, we all had it, narrowed down, right?
Unbelievable. But let's give it all to Claire Hutton, bro, with the header to head it right down on Elizabeth Ball's toe. It was perfect. And I'm still thinking who we got to give this toast of the match to. Do I say it right now? Is it Elizabeth Ball for being a substitute and coming in and changing this game?
I think you got to pull the trigger, sir.
Elizabeth Ball, pull the trigger. Pull the trigger. Five Farms, Irish Cream, the Holiday Distillery, toast of the match goes to Elizabeth Ball. So it's...
What an honor.
I can ask for much more than that. A defender subs in the game, wins the game.
For a defender, for your injured defender.
Yeah, sets an NWSL record. Like, that's three huge things, man. I don't know, bro. Center backs don't usually get in that position to score that kind of goal.
They do it with their head when they do. They typically do it through an aerial attack, not through a diving lunge to get your foot on the ball.
It's incredible. It is incredible, dude. And the thing is, I don't think we're done extending this record because that is not someone I had on my bingo card to extend this record. Who I do still have on there is absolutely Haley Mace, who we know can fire one in every now and then, and also Nichelle Prince, who is a forward and has a knack for goal. And there's one more. Who am I thinking about?
Got Hutton in there, man, who's
Claire Hutton.
Had some good looks and put some great shots on frame with some phenomenal stops by the keeper.
I'm calling it right now. I think at least those three score, and we extend this record to 18 different goal scorers.
That'd be so cool.
And
we've done it 11 games.
11 games.
11 games. That's
damn near the whole team, though. I mean, it's going to get to the point where Balasager's like, can I score? Like, I mean, I'm going to get up there, even though she hasn't really been in those positions all that much.
And she could. Like, she scores for her national team through the year, so it could happen. That's not out of the question.
And I just named 18 people, dude. That's like, that's a roster. That's a game day roster, pretty much. So, no, man, remarkable. We know Desi Scott can score as well. If she gets some more minutes in there and get some opportunities. But let's take our only quick break, and when we come back, let's kind of break down the opportunities here and goods and bads, and we'll be right back.
We appreciate you supporting KC Sports Network by listening to our podcast. You have helped us become the highest-ranked Chiefs podcast network in 2022 and 2023. And don't forget about our daily Substack newsletter, the best written analysis you can find on the Chiefs straight to your inbox every day. kcsn.substack.com.
What is up? It's Tucker Franklin here to tell you about our friends at PXG. And as a golfer for years, I've been hearing PXG say nobody makes golf clubs like we do, period. And you know what? I got to say that they are right. I went in for a fitting and I got to see firsthand for myself. I went and swung the new PXG Black Ops driver, and it is a total game changer. You no longer have to sacrifice distance for forgiveness. That is absolutely huge. And no matter how good the tool is, getting fitted can take your game to a whole new level. And look, they'll even give you a dozen of golf balls for free just for going and doing it. It's the world-class team of PXG experts will analyze every aspect of your swing with every club and give you feedback in real time how to improve. I went in there, got set up with Alex. She looked at my swing, fixed a couple swing things, but ultimately using the technology of the PXG and the Black Ops driver helped exponentially increase my game, added 50 yards to my drive, added more consistency with my shots, less disparity. It was an absolutely huge game-changing experience. If you're thinking PXG's high-performance equipment is too expensive, their clubs often cost less than the so-called leading brands. Here's what you got to do. PXG made me a believer, and they'll do the same thing for every golfer in Kansas City. Visit pxg.com/KCSN Soccer to schedule your fitting at PXG Kansas City. That's 7517 West 119th Street in Overland Park. Get fitted for any club and you'll get a dozen golf balls for free. That's pxg.com/KCSN Soccer to schedule your fitting. pxg.com/KCSN Soccer. Limit 1 dozen golf balls per person. Promotion ends June 30th. Other terms and conditions may apply. See store for details.
Bro, I went and saw Furiosa yesterday.
Heard it was good.
Are you a Mad Max guy? Have you seen the movies?
I've seen the original. I have not seen. Actually, I have seen it.
You saw the old ones?
Yeah, but and then the most recent one when it came out, but I don't remember it very well.
Fury Road. Okay. I did watch the 3 old Mad Maxes and Fury Road going into this, but like Fury Road and Furiosa are freaking adventures. Like, it is an experience. You're never bored. You're just like, at the end of like an action set piece, your mind like needs a nap. Like, it just feels stimulated. Had the best time. Can't stop talking about it. Really great film. So hope they do more of those, because I'm a visual guy, man. And if there's explosions and shit, I'm all in.
Absolutely. It's been getting really good ratings too. Like, everybody I've heard really
100%. 100% has. Also got to say, you saw Tucker in that ad just now wearing a Casey Current shirt. What up, dog? We appreciate it.
love the sport.
Showing the love. Let's hop into this game, man.
Yeah.
Casey Current, still undefeated. Went to Utah Royals, still not good. But we got a 1-0 victory, and it's the 11th straight game unbeaten, but it's the 13th overall dating back to 2023. So then we mentioned the 15 different goal scorers in a single regular season. This game began. We got our lineup, and then shortly after the lineup, we got a weather delay. We've heard this game before, right? We've heard this story. I was a little worried because as fans of soccer in Kansas City, we were going to stagger our experiences, right? We had KC Current at probably 9:10 whenever they kick off, and Sporting KC was going to kick off at like 9:40. Well, it's now being said KC Current are going to kick off at 9:40. I'm like, great. I don't. Not only do I have a little overlap, I have an entire game overlap here. Did you double screen this? Were you doubling?
I doubled.
And the winningest team goes on the television, correct?
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, I prioritize the Current.
Let's go.
But yeah, it's the other game was kind of tough, man.
The other game gets the laptop. I'm sorry, you get like the 15, 17-inch screen, whatever it is. The winning team, KC Current, undefeated, gets the big 65-incher. It's only natural. It makes sense.
Big time. Big time.
But these games start on time. You can't watch both games at once. Like, it's just impossible. So I'm primarily looking at the television, and occasionally, something happens at Sporting, so I watch the Sporting replay real fast. Then I'm back locked into the Utah game.
Well, let's be honest. One team had a hell of an attack, and the other, the opposite. Not so much, right? Like, which was more entertaining to watch?
I'll tell you what. That's making. See, I do both podcasts here. Most valuable podcaster. Everyone knows that. And then I do have more fun talking about this team. Me and Jimmy, it's kind of I'm not a drinker, but I'm like, where's the beer? Let's commiserate here, bro. All due respect to Jimmy, we have fun, but it's getting tough over there.
It's easier when you're winning, right? It's definitely more difficult when it's stagnant.
I see you, and I'm like, you're a breath of fresh air, my friend. Let's talk about these. Let's talk about these games. And I see Jimmy.
Your breath. I'll be your breath.
I see Jimmy. I'm like, here we go. What are we going to talk about? But dude, it's Lola Bonta became the first player in club history to record 5,000 regular season minutes for the club. Obviously, the club has not been a club for very long, but still, she is the first player to do that. She's been here since the inception. So, and then last match, she was recognized for tallying the 10,000 career minutes, which is pretty wild. Do you see that presentation? Roger was out there with her, and it was pretty cool. So, dude, here we go. I'm getting tired of this Chawinga game plan. Hey, let's just kick it to her and see what happens. And it's like, something's got to change, right? There has to be some sort of build-up, some movement, because it seems like our game plan is just to kick it to her and watch her kick it into the goalkeeper or something, right? Am I being a dick? I'm trying not to be.
No, it's when you rely on it, and that's how, if you're expecting that to be your main source of an attack, which sometimes that's how it feels, it's not great. I mean, it's putting a lot of stress, a lot of pressure on her, even though she's getting in positions to finish. these goalkeepers are making some great saves, right? She could very easily have had 3 goals here, but I want to see more of a well-rounded overall attack. Some of these players got some shots on target too. I think Cooper had one that she put over the crossbar. It was a pretty good look. She just had to keep it down a little bit.
Yeah. Winga hit the crossbar one time.
Yeah. And her skill set is so incredible and unique. It's easy to rely on it. But when a team focuses on shutting that down and they shut down your main source of an attack, it can throw your team, for a loop. And I feel like sometimes that's what happens.
Yeah. And it was arguably, kind of I don't want to say slow game for the first half hour, but just nothing was really coming of it. But then something that stands out to me, dude, Chawinga drew out the keeper and it's an empty goal, bro. It's empty. And I'm like, I lost it. I upset the dogs. I started yelling. I go, yes. I'm like, shoot it. And I got to give it to Lauren Flynn, the Utah defender, who gets back there just to head the ball out of bounds because it's going into goal. And that is a potentially game-saving situation because everyone knows once the KC Current starts scoring, they don't stop scoring.
Yeah. Well, the thing about our offense is when the game is open, we're going to hit you with a counter. When everything is spread apart, like we're going to come at you. When you close everything down, it's harder. But if we score a goal or two, they have to open up. We force that to happen, and then we can really be ourselves. So you're right, man.
I couldn't be mad. I was like, Lauren Flynn, take a bow. Like that was so dope. Been saying dope a lot lately. It's weird. Someone called me out the other day, and I was like, is that not? Am I too old to say that? Like, what is the age range to say dope? I don't know, but it's a tick, and I'm working on it. So,
well, I think our generation created that.
Did we?
I think so.
It's better than saying cool or sweet. You know what I mean?
I say those two. Are you calling me out now? Because I say cool.
I mean,
sweet.
Let's just have a dude, where's my car situation. You know what I mean? Sweet. But dude, still scoreless in this game. We talked about Gabby leaving in the 26th minute. Really tough. I hope we'll probably hear something Wednesday. Get some kind of update today if you're listening on Wednesday. Watch socials for that update probably. But Elizabeth Ball steps on and capitalizes in the second half, man, 58th minute. It goes back to that header from Claire Hutton. Just freaking perfect, dude. It wasn't just a glancing header. She put it down on this woman's foot.
She had a purpose. She had a purpose with that header.
Yes. I can't get over how great Claire Hutton is and how, Rookie of the Year candidate, maybe? Is she in the conversation? She's not in like the early press junkets that are like talking about it, but like honorable mention at least.
Yeah, her position doesn't do her any favors in that regard. Like Croy Bethune is out there. I think she has like 3 goals, or I may be wrong, but she's playing incredibly well for Washington. But in terms of impact, I would put her up there with anybody. And when you talk about an under 18 player in the league, I saw an article and I can't remember who did it, so I feel bad that I can't quote the source, but she was number 1. She was the best under 18 player at this moment in time.
Well, she just became the 3rd youngest player to record an assist in NWSL history. So that's pretty cool. And this was Ball's first goal since 3 years ago, which is pretty dope. It's
pretty sweet.
Yeah, man. It was, and only the second of her career. So when we say Ball does not score goals, she doesn't score goals. It was really weird to see her up there, man. She was hungry and trying to really add some value to this game. Midfielder Dabinia was close to getting another, man, in the 69th minute, giggity. And the shot it went wide. It just went wide. I couldn't believe it. We were poised to take control of this game and really go up by a couple goals later on.
I feel like that's kind of been the theme of our last 3 or 4 games, right? Even though we put in 3 at home last week, I feel like over this stretch, this away stretch, right? This 3 or 4 games, we've had opportunities. We just have not been able to finish.
Yeah, for sure. Dabinia had another chance not moments later. and it went over the leg and kissed off the post. I was so frustrated. I was like, Dabinia, you are so good. Like, it's just not falling tonight. And
I was like, if we get a road draw here, I was not going to be thrilled. Especially the opportunities we've had have been remarkable.
I wanted to win mainly because we just drew at home, and we don't draw at home, right? So I'm like, let's balance it out. You know, the universe is unbalanced. We have to fix this, and this feels good. And it's another 1-0 victory that is very hard to come by, man. I was in my a guy in my cast of the play I'm in the other night. He goes, "Do you play soccer or just like it?" He's like, you wear a lot of soccer jerseys. I was like, I have a lot of jerseys, many different teams around the world. It's just kind of my wardrobe. It's fun. Used to play though, but now I'm a real big fan. And he started talking about how he watched Ted Lasso, and he's not really a fan, but he enjoyed Ted Lasso. And I said, man, Ted Lasso probably made people fans. You know what I mean? It's something like that. But he started saying, I just don't like when you watch a game for like 2 hours and it's like a 1-0 victory. And I said, I will counter your statement here, because I think there's something impressively tactical about a 1-0 victory in order to secure it and maintain it. You know what I mean? So I said, where you should really be pissed is if you spend 2 hours watching a 0-0 draw. Then it's incredibly deflating. It feels very awful. And then I mentioned that we watched a 3-3 draw, which was the most exciting draw I've ever seen in my life. So this game, dude, it truly is beautiful. And you can find good things in it anywhere.
The amount of stress, the prolonged stress of a 1-goal lead at the end of a game will shoot your blood pressure up exponentially. Like when you're watching football, let's say you're up 7, you know, you got a couple possessions, you know, you just get a stop on 4th down. Yeah, it's stressful. I get it. But there's not prolonged stress for 20 minutes of any given moment. You could give up a goal.
They get a foul outside the box, and you're just like, oh, shit.
They get a corner, in
the 89th minute.
Yeah. An extra time corner. Like,
well, this happened. I mean, in the 88th minute, Utah damn near equalized, but France had to come up strong and save the game.
Yeah.
So I just love this game, dude. There's storylines to be told everywhere. And the Current are playing very beautiful soccer this year.
In one thing that kind of goes not necessarily unnoticed, but Utah changed their formation. They had 3 defenders in the back and 5 midfielders, which really, I think, threw our team for a loop and made it more difficult to do what we traditionally do. And our defense played really well. Their Utah's XG was 0.26.
Nice.
So our defense really locked it down.
What was ours?
If you look at if you look at FB reference, it is 3.1, but I have another graphic where it's 3.97.
We should have had damn near 4 goals.
Cumulative almost have 4 goals, which you could count them. Chewinga probably should have had 2 or 3. Cooper could have had 1. Debinha could have had 1 or 2.
Yeah.
I mean, it was...
That's where the 1-0 got pretty frustrating to me. I was like, are you kidding me? Like, you're going to let them back in this game. They're going to sneak one in. I got very scared. But overall, my fears were stifled.
Yeah. It could have easily been 4-0.
Yeah. Dude, this was awesome. I enjoyed texting you right after that Ball's goal. Like, it felt really cool. But no game this weekend to talk about. We got some players on national team duty. We'll mention them here in just a moment. But no game for 2 weeks here. We Seattle come to town, and it's our first teal night, or teal out, they call it. You've heard of whiteouts in sports, right, where everyone wears white. So everyone's encouraged to wear teal. So guess I'll be making a purchase. I think all my stuff.
Clever marketing on their part, right? Clever marketing.
I have like the red jersey and I have the white jersey. They don't really have a teal jersey, I guess. I don't know. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna wear?
Don't they? I don't know. Don't they have a training or something like that?
Is their training top teal? Isn't it like red and something?
I think they have one that's like a casual top. I don't know, but
interesting.
maybe it was like a quarter zip. I can't remember. But what am I going to do was your question.
Well, maybe now it can get there. Maybe make a purchase, is that?
Maybe make a purchase. Maybe wear a scarf, that has some teal on it if you need to.
It's, I do have that. I have that teal quarter zip, but might have to get this, that Nike t-shirt that just says Current. And there's a little Nike swoosh up here and the KC Current crest in the middle. Is that better, or should I get the one that says Kansas City? I don't like shirts that say Kansas City and then have the KC crest, because it's almost like it's saying Kansas City, Kansas City. It feels weird to me. So I think I'd rather have it say Current,
Yeah. I like the Current better. I'm with you.
Man, got me spending money over here. It's going to happen. I get a teal hoodie. It's not wintertime, but that'd be gorgeous. So, anywho, now we're shopping commercial for there.
Now we're
just shopping. You guys want to listen to my Amazon wish list? Like, what's next? Cool. Moving on, man. Something happened like the day this podcast released last week. Nothing like news breaking after we record, right? Camille Ashton gave her little letter of resignation, and it was accepted. I love how that's always included, that the resignation was accepted. And I'm like
they would announce it if they declined,
Yeah, is that a thing? We were actually going to make her work for us, and it's like, well, then I just won't show up. Like, that's, I don't know, it feels weird. Why do they have to accept your resignation? What is that weird corporate shit?
I don't know. Is it like a military general who's like, I resign, and you're like, no, I don't accept your resignation.
Well, now you're AWOL. It feels weird. I've given resignation at jobs before, and they have said, like, we accept your resignation. I'm like, okay, I don't give a shit. I have another job.
You decline it. It doesn't matter. The outcome is the same. The outcome is the same.
I don't get it. Obviously, Camille Ashton, we've had rumblings of maybe how she's not exactly kind to past players. We've heard stories, whispers, if you will. Goddamn, dude, I should have had this queued up. Who was the player last year that had that had said something like she was like a trialist, like she came in preseason?
Makia Manise.
Yes. And she kind of mentioned that Camille by name, kind of, right? Like how she just didn't feel like she was treated with the respect that a player should be treated with, and like had to pay her for her own stuff some of the time.
Yeah, it was something to that effect. And there was, like you said, there's some rumblings, a couple different places. You take a look at like, Loetta, was one who was traded. CC Kaiser was another one.
And they it was just a shock to them. They it was never a conversation. It was just like, this is happening.
Yeah, the players made their intention known. They wanted to be with Kansas City, and it's a difficult business. So I get both sides, but these players give it all for their team, so you want to make sure that they're taken care of first as people. But she did some good as well, right? She had a really good offseason prior to
she helped build the team, right?
She helped roster the team that we currently have right now, and she made some difficult decisions. I mean, let's be honest here. Like, we lost a lot of players.
What about that coach last year?
Yeah, she had to fly down to Houston and let go of Matt Potter, right?
Right before the game, right? Like on game day.
Yeah. So
it's weird.
It's part of the job. It's very difficult.
Yeah, I think they'll be happy to not have her be like in the viral news, because like this club needs no more viral news. I mean, we all heard about the trainer who allegedly was having like a relationship with a player or something, right? And how that's against their code of conduct and whatever. You sign a form, you got to abide by the form. It is
I don't know if we've ever talked about that, by the way.
We might not have mentioned that.
We might not have mentioned it, but that's going to happen in any industry, any sport, anywhere. It shouldn't, but it's human nature. I mean, it shouldn't, but we're all humans.
If you sign an agreement, you are aware of that. And so you are also aware that you are breaking what you signed.
100%.
So if you thought it was a possibility, don't sign it.
I agree. And the action was swift. It was decisive, and they did the right thing. And they're setting that standard that if anybody has any ideas, It's not going to happen. Like, this is a consequence, and I'm glad they did that.
If it's a possibility, this is not the place for you. It's one of those 100%. Things. So, however, since that person's gone, hopefully they're having a happy relationship, whoever it is. Like, that's all I can ask for. You know what I mean? Because it's not a mutual situation, but whatever. But now we're in the news again about the freaking club's general manager resignation. And I don't want to be in the news for anything other than whooping that ass. I want to be in the news for beating teams into submission. You know, I don't want this backstage stuff, man. It's like the Chiefs right now, right? The Chiefs just like, well, hey, this guy like was part of a car wreck. Oh, this guy had drugs in Kansas. It's not Missouri. You shouldn't have had it in Kansas because, I don't know, guys, we're real conservative over here. Don't be smoking the devil's lettuce. But, just you want to hear about the team, right, the sports, and not the back stuff is just it's a distraction.
Yeah, and who really knows what the working relationship was like with Ashton and Vlatko, right? Like, they're both probably have strong opinions, and which
Vlatko wants to own this club. Like, he looks like I
side with, right? In these situations, who's going to win? Ultimately, we know that answer, but
yes, dude. I wish I had more time to like go back and watch this game again and clip every moment that the camera showed Vlatko, because it showed him on every missed goal attempt. Every time it hit the crossbar or the post or was blocked, he was just on the sideline like this.
Like, I can't believe this is happening, kind of a look.
He just looks at his staff kind of like, what is going on here? Why are we not scoring? You could see, though, he's very militant at times, but also like, come on. Like, he's having fun too, it seems it's really cool dynamic.
Yeah.
Anyways,
wish her the best.
Yeah, Camille Ashton will be, we don't know what she's doing next. She said, I'm proud of what we accomplished here. Give her flowers, man, for building this roster this season, because look, we're up at the top with the likes of Washington and Orlando there. We're kind of sandwiched in. So if we just keep riding this like top 3 wave, I'm pretty happy about it.
Yeah.
So we just got to make sure to beat those top teams when they come.
And beat those teams that we should beat, right? Seattle's going to come to town here in a couple weeks. We should win that game.
Show them why we should have whooped that ass in Seattle. Show them, get the teal out going. Go to the team store. I'm going. I'm going to hit it.
Free advertisement right there. Free promotion.
Listen, my wife's going to get a bank alert and be like, you buying stuff and you didn't even ask me if I wanted anything? I don't have a teal shirt. What is that about? I got a white shirt and then red stuff. And I have a navy blue hoodie. Navy blue.
Oh, I have a Blue Crew teal t-shirt.
But there you go. You don't have to spend more money, and you hate spending more money.
I hate spending money, and I got it.
Well, I love spending money, bro. I'll spend it for you. Man, we heard that Claire Hutton was called up to the U20s. Very exciting stuff. And then 6 more players are called up. I'm very glad that we break for this. I'm very glad we aren't missing like half a starting lineup for international break. That's awesome. It's not a luxury you get in MLS all the time, but it's a luxury here. The 6 players, man, in addition to Claire Hutton, you got Canada's Nichelle Prince and Desi Scott. Stina Balasager is going to Denmark. Sophie Brown, who we have not seen play, is going.
Yeah, but needed to. That's how crazy this team is.
She's going to play for Argentina, and then Brazil's Bia and Sweden's Hanna Glass, who is like, which you said last week, you're like, this is weird. Like, she's not like cleared to play, is she?
I think she's cleared to play technically. She's just working on fitness. So,
well, that's cool. It always feels weird to me when a player goes for their national team. Yes, you get money for going. I would probably go too, even if my fitness wasn't good and I probably wasn't going to get any minutes. It's still a paycheck, right?
Right.
But this is, 6 people, dude. Sorry. And then Debinha was actually called into Brazil because she will be replacing Bia.
Correct.
Because even though Bia is healthy, I assume she was like, I'm not like 90 minutes healthy. I would like to stay here with the team and earn my way back into the starting spot, don't you think?
She probably wouldn't play just because she's battling an injury. So what's the point of, the traveling there. Yeah, traveling and doing all that. So, I'm glad that decision was made. I think I think it's great for both, right? Both parties.
Yes, exactly. Dude, let's see. So they will be. Everyone should be back for the game, right? It looks like, yeah, because the game is what, the 8th. That'll be or 9th, the 9th, a Sunday. So all these international games take place on like May 31st and June 4th, or June 1st and June 4th. So yeah, everyone should be back, ready to go. I love that. Apparently Hannah Hagos will be evaluated by Swedish staff as well. I don't think she's fit yet, so we'll see what happens there. Last thing you want is an injury of a returning player.
Signed her a year ago, have not seen her 1 minute on the field, and then get hurt before coming back. That'd be tough.
That is the definition of frustrating soccer right there. You never want that. Sporting saw it with Alan Polito for a bit, who would go play for Mexico and then come back freaking injured.
Gotti Kinga,
Gotti, yeah.
He would he was injured, didn't play for a little while, and then just went for the national team. Dude,
yeah,
kind of.
He just accepted it, and Peter was like, "Well, I'm confused. I thought you weren't healthy, but whatever." So, anyways, man, any other? I guess you take a look at the table. Orlando Pride are still 2 points ahead of us. We're 11 games into the season. We're sitting on 25 points with 11 games. Bro, pretty good average. Our goal differential is still a positive 11. But I will tell you one thing. It is the best. Orlando's is a +10, and Washington's is a +9. These teams are both the three of us right there, man. It's pretty crowded, and I'm interested to see who emerges from that crowd.
Well, interestingly enough, we have not played either Washington or Orlando.
Exactly.
So
those will be the games to circle, man. Put them on your calendar. I'm saying it every week. I'm very excited for those two games.
Yeah, I'm gonna see when we play.
Yeah, it's I know Orlando's it's July 6th, and Washington is the next game after that, not till August 25th.
Okay,
that's because they do a little break for the international teams coming in, right?
Yeah, I think the Olympics is going on.
Oh, Olympic break, of course.
Little international break.
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm excited for that, man. I always kind of geek out about Olympic soccer. It's kind of do or die situation. Are they going to get a medal? Is it gold or silver? Because only gold matters.
And then when you watch the Olympics as a whole, you're always cheering on the USA to have more golds than in any other country. You're watching swimming, track. So much fun to watch.
I get down.
Curling.
You get down with curling.
I'll watch it all. Yeah, absolutely.
I similar to like X Games and stuff, right? I like trick stuff like snowboarding in the Winter Olympics, and figure skating blows my mind. Those people are athletes. I just love it. The most fit people I've ever seen in my life.
Dude, first of all, water polo, insane.
Yeah.
And a couple Olympics ago, I was just sitting on the couch watching synchronized swimming. I'm like, this is the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Mesmerizing.
I watched it. I was immediately humbled. It was incredible.
Dude, am I wrong in thinking that they added breakdancing to the Olympics?
I don't remember. I know they had a power walking last.
Yes.
That was...
Because people walk, man,
they beat marathon runners, well, not the elite kind, but they book it, man.
It's phenomenal. I'll have to check, but breakdancing, man, I'm pretty sure made it. I'm kind of in on that because that's pretty cool stuff. So, sweet. Like I said, no game this week. Anything on the docket for NWSL from last week you want to mention? Any honorable mentions?
No, I think we covered it, man. I'm glad the players get a week off. They had a bit of a hell week for travel. Those 3 away games came back and had a couple home games, so no break for them until now. So I'm happy for that.
That's nice.
Yeah, nice break for everybody. Our producer did mention that flag football is in this year.
Oh,
so that's
wild.
if they only allowed our NFL players to play that, like, it wouldn't even be a competition.
No, don't you even touch Patrick Mahomes. Don't even look at him. All right, he's he's a treasure around here.
Right.
Well, anyways, cool. Thank you all for being here today. This was fun. This was informative. We just keep winning. And, we'll be back next week to talk about the upcoming Seattle game, maybe some international news with our players. I'm sure there's ways to watch those games as well, whether it's like Fox Sports or Paramount Plus. There's always stations everywhere. You just got to subscribe to all the
stream out there, my friend. There's always
or something.
Stream.
Even the German streams where every commercial is like, Guten Morgen!
You get Belarusian stream.
It's pretty wild.
It can be found.
It can be. And then your computer is like, do you want to allow cookies? And done deal. You're in trouble.
For my credit card just to get on my browser,
Yep. What's your date of birth and last four of your social? Oh, boy. You're in trouble. So, folks, if you have yet to do that, leave us a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts, 5 stars on Spotify. Helps people find this pod. Share it with your friends. We are in full tilt. Summer is upon us. We are second place in the league. This is an exciting time to be a part of women's soccer. So get on the train if you're not already, because we're taking off. Choo choo, baby. If you want to hit us up on Twitter, you can go at NoOtherPod, at Dan Kooser, at Chris Wright 21. And we're on Instagram, Facebook, and all that as well. But you can email us, nootherpod@gmail.com if you have questions. We did get an email, man, on the sporting side. And it was long. I was like, well, I'll read that tomorrow because it was a big one, and I appreciate it. So, folks, thank you so much. We'll talk to you next week. Love and kisses. Bye-bye.